Did you know that Tesla is trading at a forward PE of around 200x right now? That means the market is betting heavily on massive future growth. People are paying for what Tesla could become, not just what it is today. And the vision is front and center in the headlines right now. Potential ties between XAI and Tesla, with reports of broader merger talks across Elon's companies. Model S and Model X are being discontinued. The Fremont factory is being repurposed for full-scale humanoid robot production. They're planning the TeraFab, their own giant semiconductor plant for AI chips. Full self-driving, unsupervised pay rides are already live in Austin and expanding to more cities. 2026 CapEx is jumping to over $20 billion. I'm an investor in this. If the AI and robotics hype turns out to be real and Tesla captures a piece of this, we could easily see a 5x or a 10x in the next few years. Let's break down each one of these drivers in more detail. First things first, the idea of XAI linking up with Tesla, or some kind of broader consolidation across Elon's companies, makes a lot of sense to me. Recent reports point to SpaceX in early talks to merge with XAI ahead of its planned IPO, with Tesla mentioned as a possible alternative partner. Basically, Elon negotiating with himself, a classic move. Tesla's already in deep. They've put around $2 billion into XAI's latest funding round and sold them hundreds of millions in megapacks last year, with a framework for AI collaboration definitely on the table. All of this fits perfectly with Tesla's huge $20 billion plus CapEx ramp up in 2026, of which a big chunk is going towards AI and robotics. If Grok ends up helping optimize robotaxi fleets or run Optimus units, that's a serious boost. The faster this starts paying off, the quicker we can quiet the AI bubble crowd. So let's talk about the pivot to robotics. Honestly, if you followed Elon at all over the past couple years, this shift shouldn't catch you off guard. He's hammered the same point repeatedly.
I think humanoid robots will be the biggest product ever. The demand will be insatiable.
You've said that.
Everyone's going to want one. It's like, basically, who wouldn't want their own personal C-3PO R2-D2?
What seems to have accelerated things is the reality check on the auto side. China's dominating the EV space, and with no real tailwinds from the current administration.
But on my first day in office, I ended the Green New Scam and abolished the EV mandate at the federal level. We abolished it. Now I know why Elon doesn't like me so much.
Cars just aren't the same massive long-term opportunity they once were. And when it comes to humanoid robots specifically, Elon himself called it out on the earnings call.
But by far the biggest competition for humanoid robots will be from China. China is incredibly good at scaling manufacturing. China will definitely be tough competition.
This pivot lines up perfectly with Tesla's first ever annual revenue decline, about 3% for 2025, down roughly $94.8 billion, a milestone they hadn't hit before. So the response is clear. Repurpose factories fast to get ahead in humanoid robotics before China fully ramps up and pulls away. Fremont is ground zero for this. They're sunsetting the Model S and the Model X production next quarter to free up that space. The iconic Model S basically launched the brand into the stratosphere, and the Model X, well, it still makes me think of David Dobrik videos, to be honest. But now, both lines are getting converted into a dedicated Optimus factory. The target Elon laid out?
An Optimus factory, which will, with the long-term goal of having 1 million units a year of Optimus robots in the current SX space in Fremont.
Optimus Gen 3 unveiling is actually coming soon, with volume production starting before the end of 2026. And it's not isolated to Fremont. Tesla is kicking off ramps across 6 major new production lines in 2026. A new lithium refinery, LFP battery factory, cybercab assembly, semi-truck production, a new mega factory for energy storage, and the Optimus line itself, of course. This is a full manufacturing blitz all at once, all aimed at scaling the robotics and autonomy future. It's bold, it's risky, and it's exactly the kind of swing that defines Tesla. From here, the robotaxi and energy stories build on this foundation. And talking about cars, their robotaxis are performing worse than Elon once said, but better than expected. They're already doing 100% unsupervised paid rides in Austin right now. And also cybercab production is starting this April this year. A vehicle with no steering wheel, no pedals, designed specifically for high utilization in a robotaxi fleet. And long term, they plan to produce several times more cybercabs than all their other vehicle models combined. Tesla is literally becoming a transportation as a service company. Okay, and now energy. And this is a section I'm actually super interested in because of vertical integration. Tesla is absolutely amazing at this. They're not just buying batteries from suppliers.
I'm Jason Bevan. I'm the site manager for Tesla's Gulf Coast lithium refinery just outside of Corpus Christi, Texas.
They're sourcing their own lithium, refining it themselves, building their own battery cells, complete control over the supply chain. And the numbers here are insane. The demand for Tesla energy storage solutions, Megapacks, and Powerwalls is literally unlimited. They have a year's worth of backlog right now, a full year. The only constraint is production capacity. And if there's one thing Elon is good at, it's solving production capacity problems.
In the short time that was done, that is like superhuman.
Right.
And as far as I know, there's only one person in the world who could do that. Right. You know, I mean, Elon is singular in this.
And they're not stopping there. They're projecting 100 gigawatts a year of solar cell production. To put that into perspective, that's enough to power millions of homes. Their energy business is becoming absolutely massive. It's another cash cow to fund the robots and AI ambitions. Okay, and next, I literally just released a video breaking down how the big tech players, the Mag 7, get their chips fabricated, relying almost entirely on TSMC, Samsung, and Intel foundries, and the rest of that global supply chain. Then, right on cue, Tesla announced they're planning to build their own semiconductor fabrication plant. They're calling it TeraFab. And this is a big deal, truly massive in scale. And this is where the long-term vision becomes crystal clear. Constructing a facility like this takes 3 to 5 years. It's one of the most complex and capital-intensive manufacturing products anyone can undertake. The real reason they're pursuing it is because it's critical. They project that existing chip suppliers simply won't be able to meet Tesla's projected demand. Elon was pretty direct about this on the earnings call. Even in the best case scenario from partners like TSMC, Samsung, and Micron, the capacity falls short. Tesla is going to hit what he calls the chip wall. This isn't vertical integration just for the sake of it, or they're trying to trim a bit of the bill off the materials. They foresee a genuine bottleneck ahead. The enormous computing power required to run millions of Optimus robots, millions of cybercabs, and all the advanced AI that powers them. We're talking about specialized AI logic chips, high bandwidth memory, advanced packaging, the full stack. Supplies are already stretched thin, TSMC is expanding as aggressively as possible, but demand from Apple, Nvidia, AMD, there's no meaningful spare capacity left. And then there's a geopolitical dimension here. Elon has made it clear he doesn't want the company's future in autonomous transport and humanoid robots to hinge on TSMC's facilities in Taiwan. Given the ongoing tensions with China, you simply cannot afford to have your core chip supply vulnerable to international politics when you're scaling at this level. This represents an extraordinary level of vertical integration, and if they execute it successfully, Tesla would control the entire chain from the lithium mining all the way to the AI processing, driving the robots. So anyway, let me bring this together. And yes, I'm a shareholder and I plan to stay one. I've actually followed this company for longer than anything else in my portfolio, and there's something genuinely special about it. That's why it trades at around 200x forward earnings right now. Elon is an incredible visionary, and it's genuinely exciting to be along with him for this ride. But let's be straightforward. The short term, I think, might be a bit rough. They're sitting on about $44 billion in cash, and a big chunk of that is going straight into building out this massive infrastructure. You know, new production lines, air compute, the robotics ramp, the work. Free cash flow is already under pressure, and it will take a real hit here. Profits are likely to dip this year and probably next year too. Analysts are already projecting negative free cash flow in 2026, but it all comes together. If the Robotaxi network scales meaningfully, Optimus hits that 1 million unit per year, the TeraFab comes online to secure the chip supply, and the energy business keeps exploding with those high margins, the valuation can get wild. There are endless speculations on what Tesla could be worth. Elon has thrown out numbers like 20-30 trillion in the long run. He's actually said it multiple times, tying it to autonomy and robotic success. And take that with a grain of salt. It's Elon being Elon here. But when you factor in the robotic upside and the full vision, it's hard not to be optimistic on some level. You also see some YouTube channels and analysts after this news tossing around targets like $2,000 to $5,000 per share by 2030 in bullish scenarios, or even higher in the most aggressive cases. The truth is, it's really tough to pin an exact number on Tesla, especially when it's operating in this frontier space of AI, robotics, and energy. It doesn't trade like a traditional automaker. You don't value it purely on free cash flow multiples or standard PE ratios the way you would a Ford, GM, or any other company really. You value it on whether you believe Elon and the team can actually execute this vision. For me personally, and this is not investment advice, this is just how I frame it in my own head, I hold Tesla and actually Nvidia the same way, as a hedge against a future. If AI and robotics do work at a massive scale and make a lot of traditional work redundant, then owning stakes in the companies actually building and monetizing that future is my form of insurance. I'm betting on the builders. It's an unconventional way to think, but it's genuinely how I see these positions. So the real question isn't, is Tesla overvalued at these multiples? The question is, do you believe in the vision? And yeah, that's a leap of faith, but personally, it's one that I'm comfortable making. Anyway, I'd really love to hear what you think about this in the comments. I could talk about this stuff all day. Are you a shareholder? Do you ever see yourself selling? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.